There are a bunch of new weapons coming to Star Citizen. In 4.2, we are getting a new shotgun. It is the Volt Prism shotgun, and they're actually looking for some feedback on it already. They said it's in both the PU and Arena Commander. Next generation weapon engineered for versatility, dominating at close quarters and adapting to deliver devastating medium range destruction. Starting as a high impact close range weapon, this adaptive weapon evolves as you fire, building heat and transforming into a precision slug shotgun capable of punishing enemies at a distance with terrifying force. We used this a couple times during some gameplay last week. Thought it was kind of cool, but I didn't really get to use it on people. I just shot it randomly. The slug aspect of it is interesting. It reminds me of the what's the flak pistol? Not flak, but the pistol that shoots like shrapnel or whatever. The salvo frag pistol. And that could be cool at medium range. We'll see. Operators must monitor heat buildup carefully. Sustained fire can lead to overheating, reducing efficiency and leaving you exposed. Environmental factors play a crucial role. Atmospheric temperatures will affect heat generation, meaning your battlefield tactics must adjust with your surroundings. And yes, on warmer freaking moons and planets, holy crap, he overheats so quickly. But this is not the only weapon coming into the game. We actually have several weapons that have been shown off as of last year, and some small concepts here and there littered throughout. But not even just that. If you look up the pistol version of these guns, you will see that we have a new pistol that comes from the same manufacturer that's planned for the game. And honestly, I think this is going to be a really popular choice because the Volt guns are very cool. They fire really, really interestingly. I think they're fun to use. And a pistol is like the perfect form factor for trying something like that out. This is the shotgun. The Prism, which is what we're getting in 4.2. We also, of course, have the Quartz submachine gun, which everybody has gotten to use in game, hopefully by now, or at least see somebody use in game. That's a pretty cool one. We have the Parallax rifle, which came in 4.1, I want to say. Oh, that's a small picture. This one's also pretty fun to use, honestly. I do enjoy this gun. The Volt guns in general, I've been having a good time with. But then you keep going. And you see that there are even more. There's also a sniper rifle, which is going to show up at some point, somewhere. And it will have some kind of shooting, interesting mechanics to it. And then we have what might be LMG right here in the middle. And then here's the SMG and the sniper. So, like, we still got a few more of these coming. And then that's not all. Last year, they gave us a look at the weapons team who's making all the content. And they show us a couple of models in here that we still haven't seen in the game.
And I have done nothing up until today.
Phil!
They start showing the new stuff as you get further and further in.
And joining him's Ben as well, who's another artist too.
What do you think other people say about you?
I'm very quiet, so I'm not sure.
Definitely the life of the party, which you wouldn't expect, noticing that after a few drinks, he's definitely the circle of attention.
He's been a great addition to the team. He's technically our newest member of the team, but he's still been here a couple of years.
I'd say in some ways his artwork is quite sometimes better than mine. He really knows his way around.
I love the
Blender.
C54.
He have such a keen eye for details on the weapon.
You can just kind of throw anything at him and know that you're going to get a really solid result out of it.
All right. We still haven't seen this. People were pumped for this when it showed up in this episode, and I don't believe anyone's found this in the game yet. Who knows? Maybe they've hidden it somewhere. Everybody just called this the Space AK, though. And it does look like a lot of fun to use. Like, I don't know what it is. It kind of reminds me, the way that it fires, the way that it it animates while it fires. The sort of chunkiness of it almost reminds me of BioShock, of all games. It feels like a rifle from the first BioShock game, but it does look pretty cool when it fires. Space K. And I'm guessing this is due for introduction to the game at some point this year.
We've got Joel. Originally, I hired Joel as a prop artist probably close to 8 years ago.
I create the artwork for FPS devices, which includes weapons, gadgets. I also make ship weapons.
Joel's actually the most senior
Turtle.
member of the team and was there when I first joined. He was an extremely
Ooh, those look cool.
helpful person to encounter.
Metro,
Very
yeah.
Easygoing,
I
super
can see that.
knowledgeable, always has a pun ready.
He has some really strange t-shirts. Every other day he comes in with a new t-shirt with something weird on it, and I'm a bit jealous because every time I see them I kind of wish I'd had the idea of buying them.
I like t-shirts. This one, it's The Simpsons. Everyone likes The Simpsons, right?
Buy more t-shirts if you like them. Oh, there's the frag.
What about your producer?
Oh yeah, don't let me forget Kieran.
I feel like you should be able to, with these new Volt weapons, instead of having to fire them a bunch to build the heat up, there should be a way to just hold in the heat to heat it up so you can fire straight from that alternate firing mode if you want to. Froze is on the great view for him. Sorry about that.
He's Mr. getting things done and getting things done on time, so he's brilliant.
I quickly realized I didn't want to be an artist or a programmer. I started out in level design, and then I found out that my passion was the team.
Without Kieran, there wouldn't be weapon content because he's the guy who glue it all together, you know.
Eats a lot of eggs. Eats brings in about 4 eggs a day or something like that. So
Good. Damn.
that's the only bad thing I can think about Kieran.
So next up is our animator Jordan. He couldn't make it into the office today, but we love him and he's great. I mean, I've been working with
Unknown.
Jordan for years on the weapon. Since I took over, he was always there.
Jordan have a really, really shiny personality. He's the one person that you can reach out with anything related to animation. He is here to support you.
Always has a lot of stories and anecdotes.
He's also a little bit scary because he knows where everyone lives, and it's unclear when he gets or how he gets the information he does. But when you join the team, within the first few weeks, maybe the first few months, he knows exactly where you are on Google Maps. And for that reason, he is terrifying.
Yet he can't be here to film for this.
No. Jordan, you could have been here for this.
That's
We
comforting.
really need you. Where are you, Jordan?
And I'm Ben, the art director. And that's enough about me, so let's look at some weapons we've been working on.
All right, yeah. So we've
We've got
seen a
quite a
lot
few
of these. Oh, I didn't realize they showed the pistol in this one. But yeah, there's the Volt pistol. That's much newer than the concept art I showed you guys.
We've got quite a few weapons that are being worked on. We can talk about a couple of them today. So first up, we're going to talk about the P8AR.
PAR is a
This one didn't quite hit as hard as I'd hoped. Thought this was going to dethrone the S71, but not quite.
assault rifle that may fill the role of someone that wanted something bigger from bearing manufacturer.
Up until now, it's been our squadron exclusive rifle. In fact, I've had backers come up to me saying, please release the P8AR.
And really what we want to do is take that P8 base and do a version that we were was slightly more tailored towards the civilian market.
A lot bigger and a little bit longer than the current P4AR, and personally one of my favorite weapons that we've ever worked on.
It is kind of more in line with
P4 is
civilian
gross.
needs, so it's had a little bit of lightning done to it. It's had some of the more aggressive visuals tidied up a touch.
We did a redesign of the stock.
And it's had a bunch of new skins and variants done for the consumer market.
Why not just put the one from Squadron in?
The honest answer is we want to kind of hold that back for Squadron, I guess. It is one of the main weapons you use throughout the campaign, and we still want that to feel unique and special. It's one of the things that we do kind of want to hold back as a bit of a hero experience.
Wait,
It is.
can the P8AR civilian variant fire full auto? I thought it was just I thought it was just a semi-auto.
Things that we do kind of want to hold back as a bit of a hero experience.
It sounds a lot better in full auto.
It is the standard issue, I think is the correct way of saying it. Military weapon, the UEE. It's a workhorse, it's reliable, it's functional, and it just gets the job done.
So the Volt
Parallax.
Rifle is another new weapon that we're releasing in the PU. A brand new manufacturer for the weapon content team. Volt are a electric and beam ammunition type, using electric batteries to power their weapons.
They're very techy. They feel very professionally homemade. It's not thrown together, but also it's not professionally manufactured.
This is the manufacturer who relies on cheap produced goods, but they still wanted it to look cool and shiny, but they are not really reliable in terms of long-term use.
I don't know, man. They look really well made. Like, I know that they've got things missing, but the flourishes about the design still give me the impression that they're really well produced. And I'm not sure if they should have, like, emphasized some idea that it was made from cheap materials. I guess just hanging wires is enough for that. It's subtle. It's subtle. But I love the design of these guns.
We wanted a manufacturer where people could use these weapons and then they could also repair and upgrade and kind of, they look like you would be able to strip them down and kind of field repair them, or work in your workshop in your ship, or in your habs or wherever, and kind of really get into the
450 amps
of how these weapons work. So there's a lot of visual cues to that with, like how the screen attaches, all the little kind of fittings and screws and how it all kind of comes together, that visually is something quite nice and exciting, I think.
There is anything like this in a PU as of now. This will suit more of the guys who wanted to
3,000 amp hours, like in just something you're holding in your hands, sounds like probably one of the scariest possible things you could do.
show off. Rather than to be military-style weapons, you will have some shiny, cool guns that you can show to your friends and say, there, I did it. This is a really cool-looking gun.
I've always been a little bit opposed to very big flashy lasers and electricity on firearms. I think it can drift away from my idea of traditional firearm. But I think working within the confines of what Volt as manufacturer are, being a home-built kit that you could order online supposedly and manufacture yourself, I think really fits into the idea of it being more of a fun ammunition type.
This is still work in progress, but you can see the direction where it's going.
So the
I find this one really funny. I still haven't shot this gun in game, but it is available to you. You can find them in Pyro.
SMG, this is something very different to any of our mainstream manufacturers.
A very small handheld submachine gun, similar to, I think, a real-world example would be a Tech 9.
And the whole idea with this kind of pyro weapon theme is that these things have been made by just people living on the fringes of the universe. They've used whatever they can get their hands on to make something that works for them.
Imagine Mad Max type of gun that was scraped with everything that you can find around.
Sort of break the art conventions that we've been working with for the last however many years.
Internally, we call them non because they doesn't have any manufacturer.
Do these still shoot out just a little beam like they show in this, or does it actually have a repetitive ammunition now?
It's made by a guy named Steve.
Yeah, you can say so.
The fact that it's very compact and small allows you to hook very tightly on corners, giving yourself a very low exposure when peeking corners, peeking over cover, and has an extremely high rate of fire, so very good for those really close encounters, but I wouldn't be using it at long ranges due to the lack of a stock.
They're really quite cool weapons to work on, and look forward to using maybe more in the future.
And this is the one that everybody's still like, where is our crossbow? And then other people are like, why are you going to put a crossbow in this game?
Where the hell is my crossbow?
There you go.
Do you know what? Chris brought a crossbow up recently. He was like, are we going to finish it? And I'm like, well, it's kind of there. There was one thing stopping us with the way the bolts interacted with stuff that we couldn't do at the time.
The fabled crossbow is an asset that we in the weapon concept team have been trying to get pushed out for a long time now.
At the point of creation this crossbow, it was decided that the bolts needs to stuck when you fire them and not disappear like any other bullet. And this prevented the release of the crossbow because we cannot consistently make the bolts stuck.
It's just a super
Yeah, that's going to be an asset nightmare.
advanced, cool-looking crossbow. It's got these really cool, like, deploying bolts in it because obviously, yeah, we don't really want to carry around these massive, great big kind of quiver of arrows. So it's got these really nice kind of compact little bolts that load into it.
Just so you know, for this video, they changed the animation of it firing. So this isn't actually how it's supposed to look when it fires. I think they just put a gun effect on it for now.
Adding more unique firearms and ways to take out enemies silently is something that the game would definitely benefit from. And so seeing the crossbow come out into the PU would be something that made me extremely happy. And I know a lot of the players have been asking me about this too.
Not directly involved in
Crossbow's
weapon
sick.
content, but still working on the weapons, audio guys and VFX guys. We're working with them directly, and they make our gun shines and sings.
I'll have done my part of the artwork, it'll have gone down the production line, and a few months later I'll bring it into the editor just to remind myself of what I worked on, and I'll shoot it and hear some incredible audio and be like, oh wow, someone's gone all out on this one.
They're a downstream team that, much like animation, it really brings to life this otherwise static and fairly boring object.
Their work is incredible. I tried to tell them at some point that I want to see them add the Lead Pipe 01 sound effect into the game, but I've yet to get an approval on that one.
Game development is a group effort. When it comes out great, it's just a miracle at some point of a lot of people involved into it.
You know, it is still a first-person game, and I think that
Dude, I love the design of the quartz. The green bits on the front are such a nice flourish. Looks so good.
first-person game, and I think that, you know, the work we do is important. I hope we're a significant part of your interaction with Star Citizen.
I do enjoy it when, you know, I see people having fun and, you know, enjoying the weapons we've created and put into the, you know, the Star Citizen universe. There's a big community of people that take, you know, like in-game captures and screenshots and stuff, and seeing people take pictures of your work is really nice.
I would like people to know.
I wonder why they keep showing this gun, but they don't talk about it. Like they showed everything else in this game, or in this video. They talked about it. This one, they're just kind of keep dropping videos in, and they're like, you'll learn about it someday. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
That the feedback they give us.
Oh, and then this one. Yeah, they didn't really talk about this one either. But I guess that's the whole point, is like, we have other things that it's going to come into.
Especially on our team, means a whole lot.
When we see a comment come up about
love the
something in
coda.
the firearms that people might not like, we do take that on board. If it's not applied to the weapon they're speaking about.
This is the Prism, the one that we're getting in 4.2. Also one they didn't really mention in this game.
We'll try and
or in this
avoid
video. Why do I keep switching game and video? Strange.
future ones. We're always learning.
And if there has been a weapon that you really enjoy using, or is your favourite weapon, then please do let us know in the comments, because the team will love to hear that sort of feedback. With our recent releases, you've seen a whole bunch of updates to how the weapons feel, how they function, and really bring some of those quality and life improvements to the weapons as a whole. And that's just taken a lot of hard work from the weapons department as a whole.
This is the Dead Rig shotgun, I believe. It is in game, but it's like it's still not that common.
Whole department, art, design, animation, audio, VFX, like the whole lot. And they've not had a great deal of limelight in these sort of events, but they're super dependable, and I'm very happy to kind of be able to get to talk about them today.
So what did we learn this week? Well, hopefully we learned a
So yeah, they've got several more weapons to drop into this game, and they're not really slowing down on it. I mean, we went years and years without getting any new FPS guns. It's really easy to see if you go to the roadmap. It's like the opposite of ships for a little while there. You drop in, and kind of like the mission givers, you just expand out these earlier times, and you'll see, I think it's all at the bottom. Yeah, all kinds of weapons being added in. Demeco, Scalpel, F-55, R-97, Castac Arms, Ravager, you could just keep scrolling down. Gemini, it's like reliable. Bearing S38, Salvo Frag Pistol, Missile Launcher, I think one patch they missed some. C54, Bearing BR2, Bearing FS9, Gemini AO3, and then suddenly, no more weapons. No more weapons for years. Actual years of the game's development. Until they've started dropping in these new guns we just saw. The Volt weapons, the little pyro gun that they made. All this stuff is like the first time they've really started doing this in a long time. So it's kind of significant. I mean, it doesn't mean everything's changing, but the FPS team is back to delivering stuff to Star Citizen. So I think we can continue to expect updates to the FPS and the armor situation because of that. But yeah, that's the current what's going on with FPS weapons.